Hello 5K, happy World Book Day. I have chosen The Secret Seven to read to you today by Enid Blyton. Now, these are a series of books I used to read all the time when I was a child because I love how adventurous they are. It's about a gang of children who form this club and they do lots of different things. They go on lots of adventures and have lots of stories to tell. So I'm going to start by reading the first couple of chapters. And if you like the story, you can read it when you come back in. So here goes. Chapter 1. Woof, said Scamper, as he saw Peter and Janet getting out their bicycles. Woof! No, you can't come with us today, said Peter. Sorry. Scamper, sorry, Scamper, but we're going too fast for you. All 7 of us are going to explore that old ruined house on the side of the Hallows Hill. You stay here, like a good dog. Scamper put his tail down and whined. It was too bad of the Secret 7 to go off without him. Peter and Janet got on their bicycles and away they went. I like the illustrations too in these books. They went to join the others who were waiting for them at the top of the lane. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Pam, cried Janet as she saw the other 2 girls who belonged to the Secret 7. Hello, Colin and George, shouted Peter. Where's Jack? Oh, there you are, Jack. Are we all ready? Well, off we go to Hallows Hill. Away they went, shouting and laughing to one another. It was fun to be together again on a fine Saturday morning. No school, no work to do. Just a lovely day, a picnic and a little exploration of a strange old place. Chapter 2. Hallows Hill wasn't really very far if you went across the fields, but much longer if you went by road. The sun shone down hotly, and the 7 began to pant as they came to the hill on which stood the strange old house. There it is, said Colin. It's awfully old, and there are strange stories about it, especially one about a dog. About a dog? Why, what story is there? Asked Pam. Tell it to us. They had to get off their bicycles to walk up the steep. Does look pretty eerie to me. I don't know that I would go in there on my own, or even with a group of friends. Walk up the steep path, and Colin told them the odd story. Well, it said that once a dog lived there till he was very, very old. And one day his master fell down the stone stairs and couldn't move. And the dog barked all day and night for help. And now it's said that he can still be heard barking at certain times. Though the old house is ruined and empty. Poor old dog, said Janet. I'm sure Scamper would do the same if anything happened to us. He'd bark the place down, and his bark would go echoing down the years too. It's such a very loud one. Everyone laughed. Jack pointed to an old stone tower, which had just come into sight round a corner. Look, there's the old place, he said. It's a pity it has fallen into ruins. It must have been a lovely house once. Jackdaws flew round the old house and perched on the broken tower. We should be able to see their nests, said Peter. They built them out of twigs, and I'll bet the tower is full of old nests made of twigs and sticks. So they're the jackdaws, the birds flying round. They were soon in the old house. It was bigger than they had imagined, and they wandered from room to room, looking all around. It was quite empty of furniture, of course, but the old stoves were still in the kitchen, and the old pump was still worked. Colin and Jack worked the handle up and down, and water spouted into the cracked old sink. Chapter 3. There are still some broken dishes in the larder, said Janet, opening a great big door. My word, what a larder! It's as big as our sitting room at home. And come and look here, shouted Jack. There's an enormous room here. It must have been a ballroom, I should think. See, there are still mirrors all round the walls. They stood and looked round the silent, dusty, cobwebby room in wonder. I think if I was in a room of mirrors, cobwebs, jackdaws flying around, I think I'd be a bit creeped out. They imagined it lit with hundreds of candles. That's what they are imagining. The floor gleaming and polished, and beautifully dressed people dancing all night through in years gone by. Then Colin suddenly spotted something on the floor. "Look, sweet wrappers," he said. "Someone besides ourselves come here too. There's a newspaper too, and greasy paper. For sandwiches, I expect." "Why didn't they clear up their litter? I say, come and look here," called Janet. From a great old chimney place, if you look up this chimney, you can see the blue sky ever so far up, like a little blue patch. "There aren't any jackdaw nests here." "Why, it's big enough to stand up in," said Pam, in wonder. Standing in the fireplace with her head up the enormous chimney opening. "They could have roasted a bullock here." They all examined the chimney place, and then George gave a shout. "There are steps at the side here. I bet they lead into an old hiding place. I'm going to see." And up he went and stumbled into a dark little room, hollowed out of the great chimney stack. He felt in his pocket for his torch and switched it on. He stared in surprise at what he saw. "Peter, something's hidden in here. There are lots of boxes and..." Chapter 4. Suddenly a loud voice cut across what he was saying. "Hey! What are you kids doing here? Come out of that chimney place, quick, now!" George stumbled down the steps from the little hidden room and joined the others, astonished. A tall man was standing on the heath, looking very angry. "I say," began George, "what are those boxes up in that—" "Oh, you've seen those, have you?" said the man. "Well, that settles it. I'll have to keep you prisoner here till I've got them away. Get into that big larder over there, all of you, quick!" Very scared now, the 7 ran to the great larder. The enormous door was slammed on them, and they heard the key turn in the lock. So I'm going to leave it there on that cliffhanger for you. If you'd like to read the rest of the story, you can come and get it for me when we're back in school next week. And there's a series of books like this. You can get them in like modern day text and some quite big writing here. But sometimes when I'm reading for pleasure, I quite like to have bolder words just to relax my eyes a little bit more. But if you think you like these stories, I can help you find some in school. Okay, so I hope you have a really lovely day today and are reading lots and exploring different books together. Bye.